Okay, so now I was ready to call it a day and just have me some tacos because right now all the news is talking about is what's going on over there in Paris with that cathedral burning, which I think is the one you know how the news media is. It's like they ain't got enough news out there, so they get one story and then they just hammer it and hammer it and hammer it and hammer it and hammer it. And it's like you know as if we there, we ain't there. Some of you are, but we ain't there. I've never been to Paris. Did I want to go to Paris? Yeah, eventually. Do I care about that cathedral? No. Would I have gone to it as a tourist? Probably. A lot of things I wanted to see in Paris, but at the same time, I know Paris is not as glorified as you think. Paris is known as the city of lights. Seriously, that's what they're known as, the city of lights. Paris got problems. Paris actually, on some levels, um, makes more sense than the United States, but at the same time, doesn't. Just like Great Britain does and doesn't. Paris was always at war with Great Britain. The King of France, King of England, or Queen of England, or whatever. Yeah, I mean, they were always at war with each other. I mean, I guess it's proximity. I don't know. I don't care. No, I mean, they always got problems. People always got problems. Those white people problems. European people problems. You know, their region of the world. And then they want to bring it in as if their history is my history. Their history became my history when they came over to uh, Mother Africa and started enslaving people who look like me. Now, did I always look like this? No. I was Middle Eastern. I know what I was. I mean, I had many lifetimes. I mean, I was Egyptian. I was all kind of shit. What you talking about? Why are you in art school and learning about shit and don't learn anything? And at the same time, you know that you know some shit that you really couldn't possibly know, but at the same time, you know it for whatever reason, but at the same time, it's a part of your consciousness and all the other bullshit that you should have let go of a long time ago, you still holding on to as if it's a prize in the purse. And you making the world a better place. I'm still trying to figure y'all out, but not really. But see, you're not really that much of a puzzle. What you are is you're just stupid. You let a whole entire age eclipse you. Talking about spirit can't tell time, but the thing is, it wasn't about what God couldn't tell time with, or spirit couldn't tell time with. It had to do with the fact that you couldn't tell time, just like you couldn't read a book because you're too busy writing them. Seriously, if you really want somebody to blame, blame yourself. Because the person you cheat off of, I mean, seriously, if you sit in the classroom and you cheat off somebody and they get a failing grade, but you cheated off of them, whose fault is that? Maybe you should do the homework. Because you say you and Earth is a school. Now, these are your words. This is what you teach. But at the same time, you sitting there writing books based upon some shit that you done channeled, coming from some entities that you don't even know. But because they gave you what? A piece of candy? Some coinage? A piece of dessert? A pastry? Because I mean, seriously, when I dream about people eating pastries and stuff, they just desserts. I don't need you to interpret my dreams because the shit is just that literal. They just desserts, and that's what you're getting. Because you're sitting there trying to figure out why Donald Trump is in office. You're getting your just desserts. Mike Pence and all those people. These are the people you emulate. These are the people who basically, even though you don't see it, that's who you are. Oh, you might find them bone of contention. Oprah might find them a bone of contention, but that's who they are. They all actually emulate that same shit. That nobody can tell them anything. They know everything. Their life is good. Don't fuck with their shit. They're king of the world. And you want to be like them. They kings and queens, wherever they come from. I told you. As my brother said, do you want me to say anything else? He said, Hebrews 2. I said, didn't we already go over Hebrews 2? Yeah, we did. I started looking at it. It's on here. You look it up. See what I said. I ain't got to repeat that shit. But Hebrews 2 had to speak to the fact that I know who the fuck I am. You don't. Y'all don't want us sitting there asking questions. Y'all don't want saying you're ready to ascend. In fact, you already said you ascended. Ascended to what? I mean, I'm laughing at y'all because y'all really are funny. Y'all just that funny. Did I tell you a story about how the other night I was walking back, I told you about how my brother used to nickname me Hollywood? And I'm coming back up the street from the store. And there was a woman, I told you, people talking in the street, they just talking. They're crazy. But, at the same time, it has to do with, what's possessing them. And I'm walking down the street, and I have my music in my ears, my gospel music and stuff, and I'm coming back and minding my business and keeping mind on what's going on around me because ain't nobody gonna jump off on me. And I'm not aware for it, or I'm not aware of what's getting ready to happen and gonna try and defend myself. And there's a woman, she was coming down the street, but she talking to herself, and I saw her. I'm like, okay, leave that woman alone. That woman's doing her thing. And she gets by me, she goes, show Hollywood some love. And I'm like, did she just say what I just said her say? And she went on about her business. Y'all didn't show me any love. Yeah, we in North Hollywood. I don't have a problem telling you where I am. I'm in North Hollywood. She could have been talking about that. I don't care. But I just thought that was interesting. That she waits till she get up to me to say that shit. But the thing is, as you like to say, we all interconnected. Oh yeah, we are all interconnected in many ways. But the thing is, I don't have to get caught up in your bullshit. I don't have to thank you for your service. I don't have to sit there and say I support the police department. I might support the fire department, but not necessarily because what, it's dicks in there too. No, there's dicks in there. Don't get me wrong. I mean, every time we had a fire drill at the studio, you should have seen how hot and bothered those women were that I work with as they ran out there and act like they wanted to take their panties off right there, as if those men were going to sit there and take them right there. That ain't really happen. Everybody always wants somebody who can, I guess, do that fireman's carry. I don't know. I mean, I like firemen. As a gay man, I guess I like all men. I mean, I used to like police officers and all that shit. Anybody in a position of authority or who was self-assured. That's what's weird about this whole transformation process for me. And the angels were talking about that. We're here, in support as you're going through this transformation. I said, I just don't care anymore. I mean, I've been celibate for a number of years now. I mean, don't get me wrong. I can still see a man and say, oh, that's cute. But I do the same thing with women. She's pretty. She's beautiful. The thing is, I just don't care. Because the thing is, see, I wanted my father. That's what I wanted. And see, my father doesn't have a countenance. But he does good work. And I tell him all the time, I say, you do good work. I mean, I understand why some of these people have problems. They really don't know what to focus on. He said, well, you do. You focus on the soul. Is it really a good person? Not what you hope them to be or what you think you can make them to be, but who they are. I had that experience when I was in Pittsburgh. I mean, I had all that hair on my head and stuff, and I mean, I was going. My nephew-in-law took me up to my church where I grew up. Motherfucker was not. I mean, he just recently joined. He gonna sit there and try and tell me what. That motherfucker was trying to teach me some shit about the Bible. Oh, he needs to shut his ass down. Traveling salesman ass. He took me up to that church for breakfast. Came knocking on the door. I washed my face. I went up there. I had breakfast. They gave me a couple of plates. Whatever. That stuff. He thought he did something. No, nigga, you ain't did nothing. You walk down the street with your fat ass. What you do? And I remember, I mean, I knew what the little ritual was, and they would close it out with prayer and all that kind of stuff. They had extra food. They give it to you, take it home. No big deal. The motherfucker was sitting there eating too. He didn't eat no breakfast. I mean, his wife was making all the money. Told you that shit is hysterical. You really need to know who these people are who call themselves doing some good work and think they're gonna get credit in heaven with the Most High. You ain't getting no credit with me. You ain't gonna get no credit with him. So now, I digress. So, one day I shaved everything off and cleaned all this off, and I went back up there, to have breakfast. The sister girl, I've been serving to get you this stuff. After everything was said, I had my fill and stuff. We got ready to do the prayer, and after the prayer was over, she said, "Oh, I don't think we met. I'm Sister So-and-so." I said, "Girl, I know you are. I'm Carlos." And she goes, "Carlos, I didn't recognize you." I said, "It's okay, girl, because you looked at me, not at my soul, but you looked at all that stuff that was on my face." That was before witnesses. And she was ashamed. Now, she wanted to apologize. I told her to say it's okay because it happens all the time. And other people understand that too. So now where you at in this mix when you sit there and say you know me? Why are you sitting there looking for a white Jesus as opposed to a black one? Or any other kind of Jesus? And why do you say you Christian to know Jesus? If you need a description of what you're looking for, you'll never find it because it's always in your own damn imagination. You ain't looking with soul-filled eyes. You're looking with the demonic eyes of man, meaning that anything that doesn't measure up, you will condemn, and you've condemned a lot. Might as well call yourself a white supremacist. And we know what they are. In theory, in conjecture, they're the master race. They understand a lot. And you can't teach them anything. Just like you can't be taught either. So why am I wasting my breath? Now let the church say amen to that. As you sit there and want to sit there and say, I don't know what the fuck I'm talking about. But you are bringing healing to this world as you take my place as hats. This is my gift to you, Beverly Henson and the Tempe Mason, who forgot how we met. We met through her. She was on my friends list. And you, being a realtor, which is looking to sell some property, I know exactly how we met. I know exactly what your agenda was. We are not friends. But then you already proved that when you called me an asshat and then you unfriended me as if my feelings were hurt. No. What you became was cannon fodder. See, anybody and everybody who has left my friends list is free for me to read from in my book of life. And you don't get that as long as I don't say anything that is counter to what our experience was. It's not slander. Don't try and take me to court. Because the thing is, you gotta back it up. And trust me, I do have wise counsel. And I'm not playing with you. Judgment is underway, people. The Most High's judgment is exposing all kind of shit. Your shit. You have no problem with that, right? Light workers. Because you stand in the light all the time. So you want your shit to be seen. You want people to know how pure you are. And not just simply talking about how you were gang raped. Like Colette Perry likes to talk about how you were a former drug addict or alcoholic and all that kind of shit. Nobody cares about that. Or the fact that your parents lost all their money. Nobody cares about that shit. That's the story you tell. Let's talk about the story of what you have done since then. As you sat on that stage and started teaching all kind of shit that had nothing to do with the divine. But your take on that which you service, which has nothing to do with the God that is a true one, that is my Father. And that is what I can address with you. I don't give a fuck that you want to go out there and deal with the serpent. That's your business. Many people do. Many people have. Many people will. You an oracle of old. You already know that. You were used to people bringing you offerings. That's why you went back to it. I ain't worried about that. What's wrong? You went back to type. I thought y'all said y'all could read your own stories. She said you could read the clouds. Not that the clouds want to read it. Why would the clouds want to read it? Clouds come, they form, they dissipate. They give up their water. Or they're just pretty. They make images in the sky, what you want. I told you, you don't want to talk to me. Oh, I'm seeing something. Father, what? Oh, he wants me to pull 2 cards. Oh. Oh. That's me. He said it all begins. Cool. He said, you are an innocent man. Because the thing is, see, for all the shit that you think that you want to put off on me, you have to understand something. As a vessel, you know, an innocent man, that means I took on your shit. Which means I took on your shit to learn your shit so I could talk your shit back to you in the second coming. You just didn't know what that was. Because that shit wasn't told to you. That was delivered later. This ain't, John the Divine. I told you, see, he don't tell you everything. He keeps his cards close to the face. He is screwing you. Mankind, because it's an interactive matrix. You got always more questions than answers. Even the devil, like I told you, he was stupid too. That's what I don't think much of the devil. The devil's stupid. Seriously. The devil is sitting there trying to get back in good with God. God said, you're going to submit to him. He said, no, I'm not. God knew what the devil was. He said, okay then. He cast him down to earth. He said, I'm going to prove you wrong. I'm gonna infiltrate these people and I'm gonna fuck them up. Actually, no, you're not. What you have them do is develop them. Y'all stupid. You really don't get it. We were already incomplete works of art as far as God was concerned. And now what you think you now are, if that's the best you can be, you worried about telling fat this dress. Just is my ass too big in these jeans? You don't worry about more than that. You need to worry about what your soul is all about. And that's what you don't get. I told my father, I said, I'm a straight up dick now. He said, no. You're more like me than you realize. This is the flip side. I said, I've never seen this side of you. He said, I know. I mean, he argues with me. But you know, at the same time, you know, I have to stand down because I can't argue with you. You're my father. You have reconstructed me into something I don't even know what I am. Oh, he said, oh, you know who you are, and you're going to know more. Yeah, what about your brothers and sisters? They're either going to come on board, or they're going to be left behind. Either way, we don't care. It's a choice. Because see, when you want a Christian to be a dick, that's not what you want. You keep saying, why do you do that? Because I can. And he wanted it. I don't want to do this shit. But he said, we can't have an incomplete souls. And that's what you are. Seriously. You know how to hate. You started off learning how to hate. A lot of you never learned how to love. Some of you learned how to hate and then switch to love. You pretty much are complete. And some of you will never see the difference. So, for those of you who like to call people a waste of flesh, know that it takes a waste of flesh to understand another waste of flesh. All I can say is I bid you adieu.